Queen of the Ring. Gil, were you able to see this one?
No, I tried, but I couldn't.
I I didn't realize how limited it was gonna be. All right, so on Instagram, this is a movie I was always gonna check out. I wasn't sure if I was gonna put it on the wrap up, but on Instagram, I asked people like, "What's coming out this month?" And I forgot we have like a big wrestling audience, and a bunch of them were like, "Queen of the Ring, Queen of the Ring, Queen of the Ring." It's a wrestling biopic, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." Um, so I put it on. I saw it the week it came out. I'm like, oh yeah, great. Everyone's gonna have a chance to see it. And then it was like gone pretty quick. And I was like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have put that on the list. My bad. But Joe, you saw it, right?
Yep, it was great, man.
Yes, it tells the true story of Mildred Burke, and like the birth of like women's wrestling in America. The sports entertainment version of wrestling. But they talk about it's very educational. Obviously, they've changed some things. I didn't look up the actual story, but I could just it's one of those things where you watch enough biopics where you're like, that's changed. I bet you it didn't happen like that. I know she worked with black wrestlers in real life, but I doubt that they were best friends right off the bat like they were in the movie because this is like in the 50s. I'm like, I don't know if they were best friends day one. So yeah, there's some modern revisionist stuff in here, but yeah, I actually really like the main actress, Emily Bett Rickards, I think her name is. I mean, that is her name. I just don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. She was on Arrow. She was one of the main characters on Arrow,
Oh,
and then she like left the last season, and then came back for the finale. It's like you could have just do one more season. What the hell? But I always liked her, and then she like just disappeared for a few years. And now she's back in movies again. There was one that went to Tubi with Stephen Amell in a terrible wig called Calamity Jane. And I saw the trailer. I'm like, I might skip that one.
even his expression is like, what the hell am I doing here?
Yeah, that one looked bad. But this movie was totally solid. I like the story of her trying to become like the first like big woman's wrestler. She meets other wrestling legends. What's it called? Her trainer. God, what's his name? Oh God, why don't I have his name? Why is he not showing up on IMDb? He's like the main character of the movie.
Does
Josh
this movie even
Lucas.
exist?
Yes, Josh Lucas is Billy Wolf. He takes her under his wing, and of course, he sleeps with her and then marries her. There's a lot of like romance and drama and stuff there. She's married to him, but she's in love with his son. It's very, very all over the place. Um, yeah, she ends up becoming friends with other wrestlers. Deborah Ann Wall from Daredevil is one of them. She plays Gladys Gillum. And then who played? All right,
Glad she's in something. She's
yeah,
not going to be in Daredevil.
and Francesca Eastwood plays Mae Young, who is a probably the most famous female wrestler of all time.
Easily.
And it definitely does the biopic thing, being like, what was your name? Mae Young?
It's so
And they really like
fucking
linger
funny.
on it because they know that is one the audience will recognize.
It's like when you're shooting a prequel to a movie and you're
Oh,
referencing
Yeah,
something coming.
exactly.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Gil, because she meets this wrestler named George. And she goes, you know what, George, you're gorgeous. And he ends up being professional
Oh, God.
wrestler, Gorgeous George.
Chewbacca, I'm calling you Chewie from this point forth.
But no, I actually think it was a solid little biopic. It gets cheesy here and there. It's definitely low budget, but it looks like a movie. Joey C, what did you think?
Yeah, I think it's a really fucking cool like period wrestling piece. And obviously as a big wrestling fan, it's hard to fuck up a wrestling movie for me. But it really is like your typical biopic and you can tell it's low budget, but I do think it has some nice charm to it. But by God, there are some corny and like formulaic motivational speeches in there that I was cringing at.
Yeah, there was one. So there was one moment where like, so Billy Wolf, he like beats her throughout the film several times. He like gets drunk and beats her, and her face is all messed up and stuff. She's like, you gotta like quit wrestling, you gotta like divorce him or sue him or something. She's like, no, I have to appear strong for all the little girls who look up to me. I'm like, I get that now, But like in the 50s, these little girls probably like watching you in the moment, and then they probably forget about you afterwards. Like I don't think if a fandom was like how it is now back then, that was clearly put in for like a modern audience. I actually thought it was interesting that they were at the end. They're like, yeah, Billy Wolf, he was a bit of a piece of shit, but he did get women's wrestling started. I'm like, wow, a movie actually acknowledged that you could be problematic and still actually like have done something to help something.
Yeah, I was really shocked to see that ending. But I do feel like if you're a wrestling fan, you'll notice that like the choreography of the wrestling is like pretty fucking weak. But I think for like the casual viewer, if they even see this, I do think it's good enough. Yeah. I think the biggest problem that I had with this movie is not even the over like dramatized moments, but it's the fact that it was, I think, way too long. I feel like this could have been wrapped up in 90 minutes.
I did not expect it to be that long. Dude,
and the other thing is they didn't even fucking make the actors look any older as time went on. That really pissed me off.
It really did confuse me. Okay, yeah, Gil, hold on. Let me go back right here. Okay.
Also, I love how backhanded this review is. Like, Tony, your whole opening spiel where you gave your thoughts ended with, it looks like a movie. No, was that supposed to be like a positive?
Yes. Because if you saw that trailer for that Calamity Jane movie, it doesn't look like a movie.
Okay, that's fair.
But real quick, Gil, this guy on the right here, that is her son, teenage son.
Okay.
You get to see him as a baby, and she looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, in 18 years, she may be aged a day. Like, they barely age her up at all.
So bad. It's so fucking bad.
It's got a decent cast in there, though. You got Martin Coe from The Karate Kid. He has a part in it. Walton Goggins is in it. He's like a big wrestling promoter. You have some real life wrestlers. Britt Baker and Mickey James have roles, and then Tony Storm plays a pretty prominent character in the film. And Jim Cornette is in it.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Joey C, do you think, Gil? I know you don't know who Jim Cornette is. Do you think, because there's a lot of leftist actresses in this, do you think they tried their best to hide every negative comment Jim Cornette has said and gotten canceled for the last 5 years?
1000%. Absolutely.
Jim Cornette still has me blocked on Twitter.
That is hilarious.
What happened? Is this like ripping open an old wound?
Well, no, I just called him a cuck because apparently he is. No. Apparently.
I've never heard about that.
Wait, you didn't hear about this? Okay, so allegedly a few years ago, this story broke that allegedly when he was in charge of like upcoming talent in WWE, he like forced a bunch of wrestlers to like sleep with his ugly wife unless they wanted to get ahead. And this whole story broke. And I just had he's like a shit talker on Twitter, so I thought I'd have fun. Crazy. I called him a cuck, and then now I'm blocked. But you know what's funny? YouTube shows you like other channels your audience watches, and apparently my audience really likes Jim Cornette's wrestling channel. And now I can never do a crossover with him because I called him a cuck. What's going on here?
Do you ever look at what your audience also watches, and then you're disappointed? You see a certain channel and you're like, really? Like I'm in the same company as that channel? Like you click on it. Oh, here, an example. I won't name a channel, but you click on one and it's all AI voiceover and like clearly AI generated videos. And I'm like, so on a day-to-day basis, you're like, I'm either going to watch Gil or I'm going to watch this. And the choices are like equal, you know?
Do you want me to say mine? I'll just say mine here. Let's see. The top ones for the last 28 days. Movie Dumpster. Okay, that makes sense.
That makes sense. That's good.
Cinema Snob. Double Toasted, which people have mentioned to me before. I think I got accused of ripping them off once just because I did a similar topical video. Joe Blow Horror Originals. Good bad flick. So I like that like 3 of my friends are on the top ones here. And then Jason Brandt, Cody Leach, Planet CHH, which I think I was on. Brandon Tenold, Hats Off Entertainment. All these way bigger. Oh, wow. Adam Does Movies. He's on page 3.
I can't believe I don't crack the top 10.
Same.
Oh, that is weird. Guys, why are you not watching Gil's channel?
Why am I coming on these streams?
Yeah, what is he getting out of it?
But yeah, solid biopic. You're right, Joey. It's a little too long. I think if I was watching at home, the length wouldn't have gotten to me as much.
I agree.
Thank
I
you for eating on a broadcast, by the way. That's great.
I love the see when you clip these out of context, and then people find the clips who don't know your channel at all, and so there was one where I think Joey and maybe Crystal were both eating, and somebody was like, "What is going on with half the co-hosts eating? Well, what is wrong with you guys? You unprofessional? Don't know how to run a show?" They miss all the context leading up. See, if they knew the context, they would see how hilarious a punchline that was.
Well, that's why in all the clipped reviews I have, check out the full episode. So they go back and they check it out. One last thing about Queen of the Ring. There is a great line in here. Another prequel biopic, and he's going for fucking Girl Scout cookies. Joey, come on, man.
Wait, Tony, is this true? Someone's saying in the chat here, you don't link to One Take. That's the problem. You have to put the link in the description.
I don't link to any of these.
All right, please. I wouldn't have interrupted, but you were chastising Joey for eating anyway, so I figured if I'm going to say it, now's the time.
I don't link to any. Okay, anyway. There's a great moment, right, where she's having a very public divorce, and they're working it into the storylines. And this man is like, I don't agree with putting personal drama in storylines. And Mildred goes, I'm sorry, sir. Who are you? And he goes, I'm Vincent McMahon. And my son, Vince Jr., is loving everything you're doing. And it's like,
I booed.
There we go. There it is. We were waiting for it.
Yeah, we were waiting for it the entire time.
The entire movie. And I'm pretty sure they were like, thank God this movie takes place when he was a child. And we don't have to address anything that's been going on with Vince McMahon. But yeah, check it out. If you're a wrestling fan, you'll dig it. If you're into girl power feminist stories, you'll dig it. If you just looking at beefy, muscly broads, you'll dig it. And yeah, next up,